Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Super-Fanta-Fi. This being a show where I talk about TV shows of the supernatural, fantasy, and or science fictional genre. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Twin Peaks. So in this episode, a lot of stuff went down. A very good episode, and I'm going to, obviously, like usual, break things down. For one, we have the whole Becky situation, her and Steven. Apparently he's cheating on her, so they kind of have like a meltdown. It's like, we still don't know what the whole situation was last episode, why he was so pissy with her, but maybe that kind of influenced why he's kind of off cheating. But she snaps, she's like, Mom, come get me. Shelly comes with the car and everything, but she hijacks the car from Shelly, and Shelly's holding onto the hood and everything, but she swings her mom off. It's not until much later on in the episode, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Mom, it's like, you were so focused on revenge and stuff like that. It's like, wow, you kind of got a mean streak in you up to a certain, granted, it kind of shows you just how toxic their relationship is. From the very beginning, you saw how toxic it was and everything. We actually think about it, it's like, I wonder, does Bobby, because Bobby ends up, and that they 100% confirm it this episode. It's always kind of like, that seems like that might be Bobby's, Bobby and Shelly's kid, but it's like, Bobby and Shelly haven't been in the same scene together until this very episode, so, at least not to my knowledge, or very least my recollection, but, Bobby's like, yeah, I was trying to give him a second chance. And I think it's because Bobby comes from a situation of, he was kind of a screw up as a kid, as we know. But he changed it all around. Once again, becoming a freaking, working with the cops. Did not see that coming. That's the biggest twist about his character. They don't really go into it, but I was wondering about that whole situation. Like, what is their situation? Because it's like, we don't see them together and stuff like that. Because even Norma was like, why don't you call Bobby? And it was almost like a last second thought of hers. Like, the last person she didn't ever once contact Bobby. The first person she called was Norma. So I guess that says a lot about the relationship. Which is sad because they fought so hard to be together. They went through so much. But during this whole situation, for one, kind of showing you how scary Becky is, she started shooting the door to Steven's apartment or his place or whatever. She put a couple bullets in it. It's like, wow, that's pretty scary. Which it seems like he was in the building with the lady he was cheating with, but they were somewhere else. So it's kind of like, might not want to show. I don't know. It's a situation where it's like, it's one of those situations where she's like, yeah, I know Steven's a bad guy, but it's like, he can change. I know there's good in him. And like, I'll be the one to bring out the good in him, but it's like, just kind of bring out the worst in each other. At the very least, that's what it seems like. But the thing is, I'm wondering, is it like, does Bobby and Shelly look at that particular situation as like, that was kind of us. We were teenagers at one point in time. We were young folk at one point at one point in time. I cannot get that out for some reason. So maybe they are a little sympathetic to the whole situation, but obviously Shelly being the mom and everything, it's so crazy. Like, it's weird to think of Shelly as a mom, dude. Like, because, the last time we saw Shelly, she wasn't a mom, and now she's a mom, and she's being all coddling and everything and crying. And you see the look on Bobby's face like, but that's kind of quickly ruined by the fact is that Shelly's new boyfriend, who's the drug dealer dude, the dude who did a little, like, coin trick in front of Richard, like, apparently that's Shelly's new guy, which you see Bobby just kind of a little upset about it. You even see like Becky looking back and forth, like, I guess like either Becky didn't know or maybe she thought her dad knew but didn't know. It kind of ruined the moment because you're all tearful and everything, and then you see your boyfriend and you light up and you walk away, and it's like, it's a very powerful family moment. It was just kind of ruined just like that, and it's just like, what the hell? And then she just goes back and sits down like it's nothing. So once again, it's kind of sad because, like, you see Shelly's kind of falling into a bad situation all over again because we see he's connected to drugs. She got caught up with Leo originally and then kind of got caught up with Bobby, who's kind of connected to the whole Laura situation, So he played his part and he had his own connection with everything that went down. But still, it's just, I don't know, maybe at the end she'll end up finding out about this dude being a douchebag and connected to drugs and everything, kind of being a bad influence. Being in a position or, organized crime or whatever it is that he's up to, it's definitely not going to stay separated. It's going to find its way into Shelly's world. He might, for all we know, be a repeat Leo, but, we're just going to have to wait and see. But it does seem like Bobby is like, because he was like, yeah, like, almost looking at, like, a look in his eyes, like, yeah, like, me and you got a new guy. Well, shit, I guess there's no more us, I guess. We don't know what actually happened to that. And that's something I'm curious about. like we're getting pieces here and there about kind of filling in the blanks about what's going over these 20 plus years. So it's like, I'm curious, will we ever get answers to it, or was it just kind of like this is the state things are in now? We'll kind of reference some of the stuff that's happened over the years. I mean, it seems like a situation of, there's certain dynamics you'd understand better if you watched the original series, but at the same time, it's like you don't necessarily you need it for background and obviously story for narrative purposes. But it seems like at the same time, it's like they're jumping you like years into these characters' lives and being like, here they are now, and it's basically where it is. It's not like, oh, how did they get here? It's like, nope, they're here. Let's focus on that. So, not that is a bad thing, not a it can be a criticism, but I'd like to learn how they got there. But I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to tell your own story. Also, there's that whole weird situation outside of the diner where that kid was in the car and he accidentally found a gun and the bullet went off and left the car and it went and hit the diner. Bobby went to check it out, and then it's like traffic is a little backed up, and there's this like not just her, there's multiple people in the whole situation, like blaring their horns and everything. It's like, you just heard a gunshot go off, right? But you people are blaring. It's like, and Bobby's just kind of like, okay. And he goes to the lady that's right behind him. And it's like, she's like, I'm late. What are you doing? And flipping out. And Bobby's just like, okay. I even like that moment where Bobby was looking at the kid and the kid was looking back at Bobby, and Bobby's like, almost looking like, almost like he was saying, like, what the fuck are you looking at, kid? What's up with this kid? Why are you staring me down like that? I was like, what the fuck? Just that look on his face. And then there's a lady that's flipping out. It's like, oh yeah, gotta go see her uncle because, not hers, but it's like, who was her passenger. It's like, I don't know what the whole situation is. Bobby's just looking in, and someone rises up from the passenger seat, and there's like green goo coming from her mouth, and it's like, what the fuck is that? What? And that's it. It's like, I don't get it. Is that like some like normal sickness, or that some like Twin Peaks weird shit sickness? I can't tell. This show's so weird, you can't tell what's weird and what's Twin Peaks weird. Because, there's weird and like, oh man, something's off here. And then there's Twin Peaks weird where it's like, it's weird and it's supposed to be weird. It's abnormal because it's Twin Peaks, it's hard to distinguish them at the very least in this particular circumstance, in this particular show, slash season, so. On the another side of the episode, on the FBI side of things, we had Hastings, played by Matthew Lillard, once again, telling them, it's like, okay, this is where we saw Major Briggs, where I was with Ruth and everything. And they go there, and it's so interesting because you see, like, Albert as well as Gordon kind of experiencing the weirdness that is, like, this show. And it's like, I don't really remember them. Like, Albert, sure, because he was there during the whole, like, Bob situation when he was inside of, Leland. Like, how that whole situation concluded in the original series. Like, he was there during that, but it's like, I don't think Gordon ever really, stepped into that weirdness. But, like, they saw the guys, like, kind of like, they refer to him as, like, the dirty-looking guys. And it's like, they saw him pop up and then disappear, and it's like, okay, so, and they're just okay with it. And then Gordon takes some steps forward, and it looks like the sky is like twirling into almost like a black hole. And then Gordon's looking into it. Like, it from the outside doesn't look like anything, but it looks like something to Gordon. And then like the hole opens up, and he sees like a room with more of those dirty guys. And then as he was kind of like flickering, like almost like he was flickering in and out of existence, Albert grabs him and pulls him back. And it's like, yeah, okay, we found the place. And they also found Ruth's body. More of that suspicions about Diane, because she saw one of the guys approaching the car, but she didn't say anything. And she was just kind of smiling a little bit. And lo and behold, pop goes Hastings' head. And it's like, holy crap. Like, literally half of his head is going there. Everyone's like, what the hell happened? And later on, Diane's like, yeah, I saw a dirty guy. It's like, but the cop guy that was sitting in the car with Hastings, like, I didn't see anyone get in. She's like, well, I don't know. I told you, that's what I thought I saw. I might have been mistaken. So going back to like, she is neck deep in all of this, because like the cop was going like, I'm calling for backup, and she's staring into like the wind through the windshield, and she's just like, no need for backup, and kind of this smirk on her face. It's like, what is your deal, Diane? I gots to know. I mean, not unless there's some twist, like she's not really real Diane, that maybe she's like I don't know what the case may be. Last episode they were like, yo, she's neck deep in this whole thing with Cooper, whatever it is. So it seems like she knows about him not being the real Cooper, Maybe that's what that. Now I was sitting through the episodes like maybe that's what that was whole thing was about. She's like, when's the last time we met? Because maybe she was trying to confirm whether this was still Doppelganger Cooper or whether it was the real Dale Cooper back or whatever. I was thinking like maybe I saw it as a flip side of like, oh, she wants real Cooper back, but it's like no, maybe it's just to confirm. Okay, we're still on schedule. Whatever's going down. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point in time. But the fact is that she didn't say anything before, but now she's saying something, and then she's kind of being like half-hearted about like, oh, I would still, like I said, I might have not been seeing what I saw. It's like I don't get it. What is your game here? What are you playing at? Why would you even mention that if you're just going to kind of half-ass it like that, Because I feel like if you were going to play that role even more, you would have mentioned it beginning, and then you would have been like, oh no, try to stop it. But I guess because she didn't want it to be stopped, she wanted Hastings like shut up because that was the whole point. I mean, granted, the others knew something was coming, but I mean, I don't know if you would have been able to stop or protect against something like that. So I don't know. That was just very interesting to me. I'm very interested to see where like things go on that like front. And then finally, another big part of the episode is the whole Dougie situation. His boss calls him, and we kind of learn a little bit more of what it is that Dougie discovered. Obviously, this is connected to organized crime. About basically what he discovered in his files were also like stuff about the Mitchum brothers, like that whole arson thing. And so basically, they do get their 30 million now because it was all kind of figured out and everything. So Dougie has to deliver it to him. But then, Dougie is kind of brought over and told to buy something, because of the whole, he sees the red curtains and, the Black Lodge, or rather the waiting room is like, oh yeah, come buy something. And later on, we end up finding out what it is. I love it. That it's a cherry pie. And initially, it didn't hit me until much later on. I was like, significance of a cherry pie. I don't get it. Like, obviously how it plays into the episode, but then I was like, right. Because Dale Cooper loves himself. What does he love besides coffee? He loves a good cherry pie. That's some damn good coffee. That's some damn good pie. I just love it. Just to look on his face like, while he's eating it. But also, what I love most is like, Rodney, the Mitchum brother played by, Jim Belushi, just like waking up. Like, I love how their whole setup is like, Rodney's already eating the cereal, and then you have Bradley coming over, and he's fixing his cereal and everything. He's just like, I had a dream about that Dougie guy, and it's just how much I want to kill him. And he's just like, I can't even eat. It's like, I can't even eat my Raisin Bran. I'm so upset. I want to hurt him so badly. I can't even eat now. My appetite's ruined. But then he start talking more about the dream. It's like, oh, that Rodney's wound would be healed. The one he got from Candy when she smacked this shit out of him with that remote last episode. Rips the Band-Aid off. It's healed. Oh, what's we got in the box? It's like, well, what if he's got this one specific item in the box? We can't kill him. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? The dream. I'm telling you, he's remembering it piece by piece, and it's like, okay, what's in the box? It's gonna be like, okay, if he's got cherry pie in the box, we can't kill him. Lo and behold, cherry pie, and they pat him down. It's like, he's got the check for 30 million, and they're like, this guy, and it's like, wow, because it's like, we can't kill him because he's not our enemy. So once again, the waiting room / Black Lodge, whatever the case may be, is leading Cooper on the right path, helping him in any shape or form they can, even going as far as kind of implanting themselves in Bradley's dreams like that. I mean, it seems like, because in the beginning it seemed like it was only specific people that were like intertwined with this whole dream thing. It seems like Major Briggs was Laura's mom, Cooper, and Laura herself are kind of all tied into the dream thing. But now it seems like, it seems like it's not just specifically tied to people. Maybe it is, but it also seems like there's an angle of like the other side, this other supernatural world tapping into your dreams to kind of get you to see or believe something. So it kind of left them all squared, so they're in good terms. They're like, hey, we're having cherry pie. We're even drinking together. It's like, oh, we're good friends now. So this definitely puts a pin in the whole situation of like sending the Mitchum brothers after him to kill him. So now it's like, Anthony, if that happens, you have to take it into your own hands. So now it's going to come into Anthony's hands, which I don't know. It looks. I mean, it's basically Cooper's got a guardian angel looking after him with this whole situation. And I think that's the kind of the point of it. I love it. It all seems like dumb luck, but it's all with a purpose. It's all to get him back to being full force Dale Cooper. It's supposed to be lining up all the pieces so that when the time comes, everything will push him to be back. I think fully become Dale Cooper again, as well as prepare for what needs to be done to stop Doppelganger Cooper, or stop, whatever it is that's coming that they need to be prepared for. There's this whole situation with Hulk and Frank too that was kind of interesting, where they're looking at this map and Hulk is like, it's a very old map, but this map is always constantly kept up to date. Like it had like some, I think like almost like it has either he was saying like it has like mystical properties that it basically keeps up to date, or the fact of the matter is because the other way I was looking at it, it's like the fact is, even with everything kind of being built on top of it, everything is still roughly where it is. I kind of think he meant more of the mystical side of things, but maybe I'm interpreting that the wrong way. But he's pointing out all this stuff, like some black corn basically representing like disease or basically evil, like something really bad. And then there's fire, which doesn't necessarily mean fire. It means like it could represent modern day electricity. But then there's a black fire, which is a bad thing. Like something bad is coming. And knowing possibly where they'll be going from Major Briggs' locations that he gave out, that he left for them last episode. And then on top of that, there's this symbol that Frank was like, oh, what is that? And Hulk was like, you don't want to know what that is. Trust me. He's like, I don't. He's like, no, you don't. So I don't know whether that's something Black Lodge related or whether that's something like else entirely that we'll kind of get to later on. I don't know. But Margaret does call Hulk up to be like, my log is afraid of fire. Where you're going now next, there will be fire. And it's like they were just having that discussion too. So I think next episode is saying like, oh, Bobby and that whole situation Bobby's going to take them to that place. No telling what it is exactly they're going to find or what they're supposed to find. Have no idea, but very intriguing. Still makes you wonder, how the hell does a log know what it knows? The log always knows things. Once again, it's hard to say whether it's really the log or whether it's actually Margaret herself who knows things, that uses the log obviously as like her way to deal with her whole situation, just her way of coping is using the log as a stand-in, or maybe it is legitimately like she hears the log. I mean, once again, that's the difference between there's weird and then there's Twin Peaks weird, so multiple other things I forgot to bring up. One, we find out that Miriam is still alive, the lady that Richard tried to kill with the whole covering up, running over that kid previously situation. She crawled, she passed out it seems, but she's still alive, so, and I'm wondering, will that come back to bite Chad in the ass? Hope so, but we'll just kind of wait and see, because I wonder will Lucy kind of put two and two together, like, oh yeah, because Miriam will bring up the fact is, yeah, I sent a letter. Didn't you guys get it? No, we didn't. Lucy, did we check any mail? Yeah, Chad checked the mail. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know. On top of that, there was this sweet moment where, going back to it, Dougie, but Cooper was with the brothers and ran into the old lady she's like, Mr. Jackpot. It's the old lady from the casino. She's like super happy. She's like, I'm so glad I got to meet you again. Because of you, I got my life back in order. This is my son. I got a home again. I got I think she was saying like a dog. Like her life is actually like back on track now, and it's all thanks to him. She's like, I just wanted to say thank you. And it's like, it's just a little sweet, beautiful thing that like, just like, see, you guys should need to realize how special the person you're sitting right across from. He saved my life, and they're like, he saved our lives too. So that's just, I don't know, just a beautiful thing. Sentiment, just kind of establishing, being like, we're going to be keeping you around, Dougie, because you're a good luck charm type of thing. So I don't know. And now sitting here thinking about the whole Anthony situation, I wonder will the Dougie's boss kind of figure it out. Like Anthony's neck deep in all this. Like I guess like inadvertently Anthony's like been kind of like, obviously it's organized crime is mixed into it. So obviously like Doppelganger Cooper is connected to that. Maybe like, well, yeah, he's connected to the whole organized crime situation. So money that's probably coming from there is being skimmed off and given to fund Doppelganger Cooper's operation. So, it's a whole hierarchy chain, and I'm curious, like, how far up will it go? Still nothing on the whole Dale Cooper print situation where Dougie's prints were being ran and everything by those cops. So also they were talking about corrupt cops too. I don't know whether they were meant specifically those cops or what cops in general he was talking about. He was like, oh yeah, there's Dougie uncovered some corrupt cops as well. So, and once again, easily becoming my favorite is Candy. I love her sweetheart. Just Candy. Where were you at? Just staring off into space. Candy! And she turns and look, and then Bradley kind of nods his head like, yo, Rodney was saying something. She's like, oh, and there was so much traffic. It's like, I can't believe it. There's just so many cars, and they're just kind of like, Candy, oh God, Candy. And they're just looking, and she just kind of goes back, and they're like, Candy, Candy. She looks, get our friend another slice of pie. She's like, okay. And it's just like, I adore you so much, Candy. You're so good. You're so good. Like I said, overall, very good episode. Still not sure where all this is leading to necessarily, but it's interesting to see these developments. Not sure what, like I said, the whole Blackfire thing meant exactly. Maybe that was referencing the Black Lodge itself. I was thinking the symbol that Hulk was, like I brought up earlier, the symbol he was like, you don't want to know about that. I was thinking that's what that meant, but maybe not the case. We still haven't gotten back to that whole Richard situation anyway, robbing his grandmother like that last episode. So we'll see what comes of those particular situations. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.